the day he brought his mistress home. I was signing a 300 million yuan contract on his behalf. 7 years of marriage. He tried to buy out all my dignity with a Hermes bag and one sentence: "She's pregnant." I didn't cry. I didn't make a scene. I quietly took inventory, locking down assets, freezing accounts, transferring shares, stripping away, piece by piece, the company he was most proud of and the ancestral home he cared about most. When he thought I would drop to my knees and beg for forgiveness, I slid the divorce papers across the table. The assistant placed the limited edition Hermes bag on the coffee table. "Mrs. Walker, Mr. Ethan sent this." The orange box was blinding. I hummed an acknowledgement and kept painting my nails. My phone screen lit up, an entertainment headline alert. Walker Group CEO Ethan spends the night at young model's apartment, buys breakfast for her at dawn. The photos were clear. He had his arm around a long-haired girl as they stepped into an elevator. She turned back and smiled. The shirt he was wearing, I had given it to him for his birthday last year. The nail polish went past my cuticles. I didn't wipe it off. The assistant stood there, unmoving. "Anything else?" I asked. This time, "It's Miss Lily." My hand paused. Lily, Ethan's college sweetheart, the one who got away. He broke up with her back then to start his business. Later, he married me. The assistant lowered her voice. "Mr. Ethan broke his own rules for Miss Lily. He gave her a brand endorsement with the company, sent a private jet to bring her back to the country, and arranged for her to stay at the Grand Hyatt Apartments. The Grand Hyatt Apartments, 5 minutes from his office. Our marital home was on the east side of the city, a 40-minute drive. I set the brush down. "Got it." The assistant visibly relaxed and turned to leave. "Wait." She turned back. I opened the orange box. Deep blue crocodile leather, platinum hardware, the hardest to get model this year. "What's the market price?" I asked. Around 800,000 yuan? Too cheap." I closed the lid. "Tell Ethan, the price for this betrayal isn't high enough." The assistant's face went pale. I dialed Ethan. He picked up quickly. Quiet background. Probably in his office. "Did you get the bag?" His voice was gentle. "Do you like it?" "No." "Then what do you want?" "The emerald necklace. The auction set." He fell silent. "That necklace was worth $2 million. 3 years ago. He bought it, saying he'd save it for our future daughter. And one more thing." I continued. "Hold a press conference tomorrow. Clarify that you and Lily are strictly professional. If you can't, then what? I want 5% of the group's shares. No voting rights." He inhaled sharply. "Are you joking?" "I never joke." The line was quiet for a long time. "Fine," he said at last. "The necklace will be delivered tomorrow. The press conference. I'll arrange it." Click. I walked to the window. Down in the garden, the groundskeeper was trimming the roses. 7 years ago, it was an afternoon just like this. Ethan's startup had failed. He lay in a New York basement, swallowing sleeping pills. I sold the ancestral house my grandmother left me, wired the money to him. When he woke up, he held me and cried. "You're my only home," he said. I believed that sentence for 7 years. Now, I don't. My phone buzzed. A bank notification. $2 million deposited. Just enough for the down payment to redeem the old house. I smiled. So betrayal does come with a price tag. Ethan came home that night. He was carrying the necklace box. There was fatigue on his face. "The press conference is scheduled for next Wednesday," he said. "This week I need to go to Paris with Lily for an ad shoot." I took the box. Opened it. The emerald glinted coldly under the light. "It's beautiful. As long as you like it," he said, loosening his tie. "Oh, Grandma's birthday banquet is next week. Get things ready. Lily will be there too." I looked up. "In what capacity?" "A friend." I smiled. "All right." He stepped closer, reaching out to hug me. I took one step back. "I'm tired. I'm going to sleep." His hand froze midair. "Are you angry?" he asked. No, I really wasn't angry. I was just doing the math. The debt from that house 7 years ago. The debt from every betrayal since. 3 in the morning. I couldn't sleep. I opened the safe, took out the purchase contract. The photo of the old house had yellowed. My grandmother stood in the doorway, one hand on the frame. "The house sold for $4 million. Every cent went to Ethan. That money helped him turn his life around. Now the house was worth $20 million. Ethan didn't know, I'd been saving money all along. Every time he cheated, I transferred a sum to myself. Bags, necklaces, stocks, cash, one by one. Tonight, $2 million came in. The redemption fund, finally complete. The door opened. Ethan walked in. He turned on the bedside lamp. Still awake? He sat on the edge of the bed. We need to talk. About what? Lily, she's pregnant. I turned to look at him. Under the light, there was guilt on his face. And relief. 4 months. He said quietly. It's a boy. An illegitimate child. The one thing elite families fear most. He handed me a check. $5 million. Take this, he said. Consider it my apology. I took the check. Looked at the number. Exactly enough to pay off the remaining balance on the ancestral home. Okay. He froze. Probably didn't expect me to accept it so easily. You're not going to make a scene? About what? I slipped the check into the drawer. Congratulations. You're going to be a father. He stared at me. His expression was complicated. Guilt, suspicion, and a hint of disappointment. He probably wanted me to cry, to scream, to give him the chance to play the role of the helpless but responsible man. But I didn't. I simply locked the drawer. Go to sleep. He stood there for a long time, then turned and left. The door closed. I picked up my phone, messaged the real estate agent. Transfer ownership tomorrow. Full payment. The vow made in that basement settled today. Lily moved in, not into the guest room, into the suite next to the master bedroom. Ethan gave the order himself. She's pregnant. She needs sunlight. So my art studio was cleared out. Easels, paints, half-finished pieces, all shoved into the basement. Aunt Zhang, one of the housekeepers, wiped her tears as she carried things out. Ma'am, this is too much. I patted her shoulder. It's fine. It really is. The art studio faces east. The morning light is the best. Lily likes it, so she can have it. I won't fight her for it. That night, Ethan announced it at dinner. Lily will be living here until the baby is born. He looked at me, waiting for my reaction. I cut my steak. Okay. She might feel unwell sometimes. Take good care of her. Okay. She likes the bird's nest soup you make. Okay. He put down his knife and fork. Could you say something else? I looked up. Like what? He choked on his words. Lily spoke up sweetly, in a soft, delicate voice. Ethan, don't make things hard for sister. This is my fault. You've done nothing wrong, Ethan said, holding her hand. You're pregnant. You've been through a lot. You deserve this. I sipped my soup. It was a little salty. Aunt Shang's hand must have shaken today. After dinner, I went upstairs. I passed the suite next to the master bedroom. The door was open. Lily was directing the staff as they changed the curtains. This color is too dark. Change it to pink. No carpet either. It triggers allergies. And all the skincare products in the bathroom, take them away. I'm not used to them. The maids looked at me. Those products were mine. Limited editions. Hard to get. Pack them up, I said. Lily turned to look at me, triumph in her eyes. You don't mind, right, sister? I don't. I went back to my room, locked the door, turned on my laptop. The share transfer agreement was already drafted. 5% non-voting shares. To be signed tomorrow. I clicked send. The email went out. Laughter drifted in from outside the door. Ethan was coaxing her. Don't move around so much. Be careful of the baby. Then hug me. The voice was cloying. I put on my headphones. Listened to a voice message from the real estate agent. MS. Shen. The property transfer is complete. We'll hand over the keys tomorrow. And your grandmother's belongings, the previous owner kept them in excellent condition. They said they're waiting for you to come pick them up. I typed a reply. Thank you. Then I deleted the chat history. Ethan will never know. He thinks I'm competing for affection. In reality, I'm liquidating. First, liquidating emotions. Next, assets. On Wednesday, I went to the group's entertainment subsidiary for a meeting. I'm a nominal vice president. I rarely show up, but this was the quarterly report. Attendance was mandatory. The conference room was full of executives. When I walked in, everyone looked at me, different expressions: pity, mockery, curiosity. I sat down. 10 minutes into the meeting, the door was pushed open. Lily walked in, wearing a couture dress. Her belly wasn't showing yet, but she had one hand on her waist. "Sorry, I'm late." She walked to Ethan's side, sat down naturally. Ethan said nothing. Silent consent. The project director was presenting a new brand ambassador. "We've been in talks with Jan Schercher. Her image aligns with..." "Wait." Lily raised her hand. "This endorsement, Ethan promised it to me." The director froze, looked at Ethan. Ethan frowned. "That was said in private." "But you promised." Lily pouted. "And I'm pregnant. I need stable income." The executives lowered their heads, pretended to read their documents. I spoke. "The endorsement contract has already been drafted. The penalty for breach is 10 million. Lily looked at me. "Sister, can't you just give in a little?" "No." Her eyes reddened. Ethan rubbed his temples. "Shenwei, it's just an endorsement." "Just?" I smiled. "According to company policy, ambassadors must go through evaluation." "Has she been evaluated?" "I say she's suitable." "Why do you get to decide?" The room fell silent. Everyone held their breath. Ethan stared at me. "I'm the CEO. I'm the vice president." I met his gaze. "And per regulations, ambassador decisions require board approval." His expression darkened. "Do you have to make it like this?" "I'm following the rules." Lily suddenly stood up. "Fine. I don't want it anymore. You're all bullying me." She ran out crying. Ethan chased after her. The conference room was deathly quiet. I closed the folder. "Let's continue." The director's voice trembled. "Then, the ambassador, proceed as planned. Sign Jan Schercher. But President Ethan, if he has objections, he can take them up with me." After the meeting, the CFO quietly approached me. "President Shin, there's something." "Go on." "This morning, President Ethan transferred 10 million to Lily's personal account." I nodded. "I know." In the elevator, the mirror reflected my face. No tears. No anger. Very calm. Only my nails were digging into my palm. It hurt. But that's okay. Pain passes. Money stays. That night, when I got home, Ethan was waiting in the living room. His expression was ugly. "You went too far today." I changed my shoes. "How so?" "You embarrassed Lily in front of everyone." "Embarrassed?" I laughed. "When she tried to steal the endorsement, did she think about how embarrassed I'd be? She's pregnant, so the whole world has to yield to her?" He was speechless. He turned and poured himself a drink. "Shenwei, we've been married 7 years. I thought you were sensible." "I used to be." I looked at him. "Too sensible." He avoided my eyes. "That 10 million was compensation. She's carrying my child. After all, you don't have a problem with that? If I did, would you take it back?" He didn't answer. The answer was obvious. I went upstairs. In the bathroom, I turned on the tap. The water was loud. In the mirror, my eyes were red. But I didn't cry. Crying is useless. I cried 7 years ago. He held me and said forever. Now he says she's pregnant. Steam filled the room. Through the haze, I vaguely saw my grandmother's face. She said, Wei, don't trust a man's vows. Trust money." I didn't believe her then. Now I do. After drying my hair, I opened my laptop. There was a new email. Photos from the real estate agent. The ancestral house had been cleaned. My grandmother's vanity was still there. The carved mirror was cracked, but reparable. I replied, "Please repair it as soon as possible. Money is not an issue." Then I opened the encrypted folder. Inside were 7 years' worth of transfer records. Money Ethan gave to his mistresses. Money he spent on bags and jewelry for me. Money given to Lily. One transaction after another. I copied and pasted, organized everything into a spreadsheet, then totaled it up. The total amount he spent on women came to 37 million. The compensation I paid myself totaled 28 million. That left 9 million. No rush. I could take my time. On Saturday, I went to see the ancestral house. The moment I parked, I knew something was wrong. Production vans were lined up outside. Prop crates were stacked in the yard. The plum tree my grandmother had planted had been cut down. I ran inside. Cameras were set up in the living room. A whole crew was filming. High heels had dented the wooden floors. Garish silk drapes hung on the walls. An actress in a flashy cheapah was sitting in my grandmother's rocking chair. The script lay open. The lines were an eyesore, master. Will you come to my room tonight, cut? The director shouted. Lily. Give me more seduction in that expression. Lily? I pushed through the crowd. It was really her. Wearing a thigh-high slit cheapah. A fake pregnancy belly strapped around her waist. She saw me and smiled. Sister, you're here? We're filming a Republican-era drama Ethan invested in. My hands were shaking. Who let you in here? The homeowner agreed. She said, flipping her hair. Ethan said the house was empty anyway, so he lent it to me for filming. This is my house. It's Ethan's now. She stood up. He bought it and gave it to me. My head buzzed. Impossible. The transfer had been done only 3 days ago. The keys were still in my hand. The former owner ran over, sweating profusely. Ms. Shen. I'm so sorry. Mr. Ethan offered triple the rent. Where's the contract? I demanded. He bought it outright. I called Ethan. He picked up immediately. Wei, what's going on with the ancestral house? Oh, that? His tone was casual. Lily likes it. Said it's perfect for filming. So I bought it. That's my house. It's company property now. He said. You don't really need it anyway. Once she finishes filming, I'll give it back to you. That's my grandmother's house. Your grandmother is dead. The call ended. I stood there, cold all over. Lily walked up and draped a hand over my shoulder. Sister, don't be mad. Your grandma was a social butterfly back then anyway. This portrayal is pretty authentic. I slapped her across the face. She screamed and fell. The fake pregnancy belly dropped off, revealing a flat stomach. The whole place erupted. Ethan rushed in. Shenwei, have you lost your mind? He helped Lily up. She covered her face, crying. She hit me. The baby got scared. Ethan looked at me, his gaze like a blade. Apologize. No. I said apologize. The ones who should apologize are you two. I said steadily. Get out of my house. Ethan sneered. Your house. I'm the owner. He pulled out the property deed. His name was on it. Dated yesterday. On the very day of my transfer. He'd outbid me and bought off the seller. I stared at the paper, then suddenly laughed. Fine. I turned and walked out. Lily called after me. Take care. Sister, I'll make sure this place looks beautiful on screen. I didn't look back. Got into the car. Started the engine. In the rearview mirror, Ethan had his arm around Lily, comforting her. I stepped on the gas. Tears finally fell, but only for 3 seconds. I wiped them away. Dialed my lawyer. Lawyer Lou. I want to file a lawsuit. For what? Illegal occupation, destruction of private property, and violation of personal rights. And the defendants are my husband and his pregnant mistress. The lawyer paused for 2 seconds. Understood. Evidence? I have on-site video. My dashcam had been running the whole time. Everything that just happened was recorded. The day the lawsuit reached Ethan's office, he smashed a cup. That night, he blocked me at the bedroom door. You're really going to sue me? Yes. For a rundown house? That's the ancestral home. I'll compensate you. I don't want money. I looked him in the eye. I want the house restored to its original state. He ran a hand through his hair in frustration. The crew's already finished filming. How am I supposed to restore it? That's your problem. He stared at me, then suddenly softened his tone. Wei, let's stop fighting. Lily's pregnant and emotionally unstable. Just give in this once. When the baby's born, I'll return the house to you. When the baby's born, she'll want more. Do you have to be so harsh? I'm just being clear-headed. He turned and went downstairs. Half an hour later, I got a text. I bought the house. The title will be transferred to you. Drop the lawsuit. Then came a bank notification. 25 million transferred. The purchase price. I replied, okay. The next day, I went to take possession. The crew was gone, but the house was ruined. The floors were cracked. The wallpaper torn. My grandmother's vanity had been used as a prop. The mirror was shattered. I stood in the wreckage, Lily strolled in unhurriedly. Satisfied now? Ethan spent $30 million buying this dump for you. I ignored her. Called the renovation company. Restore everything. Use the best materials. The cost will be roughly, no matter the cost. After I hung up, Lily was still there. What are you so smug about? It's just leftovers from a man who used you. I turned to her. Finished talking? Not yet. She stepped closer. Shenwei, do you know why Ethan chose me? Because you're easy to sleep with. Her face changed. Because you're worthless now. No backing from your family. Your career depends on him, and you can't even give him a child. But me, she touched her belly. I'll give him a son. I laughed. Then good luck. You're not angry? Why would I be? I looked at her calmly. A man I don't want anymore, if you want to pick him up. Go ahead. She trembled with rage. Just wait. Once the baby's born, I'll be the lady of the Walker Group. Wish you success. The renovation crew arrived. I began giving instructions. Lily was left standing there, ignored. In the end, she stomped off in frustration. That night, Ethan didn't come home. Aunt Zhang said he went with Lily for a prenatal checkup. I stayed at the ancestral house, supervising the work. The carpenter asked, "Do you want to keep these mirror fragments?" Yes, every piece. That was my grandmother's mirror. Even shattered, it would be put back together, just like my heart. If it breaks, I'll fix it myself. I won't rely on anyone ever again. My grandmother's birthday banquet, a 5-star hotel ballroom. Everyone in the circle was there. Ethan entered holding Lily's hand. She wore a loose gown, her belly slightly rounded. On her wrist was the jade bangle that was supposed to be mine. Guests whispered among themselves. The wife's over there, tisk. He really dared to bring her. I heard she's pregnant, riding high on the air. I sat at the head table, quietly sipping my tea. Ethan walked over. You look very beautiful today. I was wearing a black evening gown, simple lines, nothing around my neck. I didn't wear the necklace he gave me. Thank you. He hesitated. How's the renovation coming along? It's fine. Wei, can we? No. His gaze darkened. Lily swayed over. Sister, let me toast you. Thank you for giving Ethan to me. She raised her glass. Juice. I raised mine. Red wine. As our glasses touched, she suddenly cried out. Oh! Her glass slipped. Juice spilled all over my dress. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. She reached for tissues, trying to wipe it. I blocked her hand. It's fine. Let me help you clean it. Her hand moved downward. Suddenly she grabbed my wrist. Yanked hard. My body lurched forward. She screamed and fell backward. Ah, my baby. The room exploded. Ethan rushed over. Lily. She lay on the floor, clutching her stomach, crying. She pushed me. She hates that I'm pregnant with Ethan's child. Everyone looked at me, eyes full of accusation. Ethan picked her up and shouted at me. Shenwei, how can you be so vicious? I looked at Lily, in Ethan's arms. She winked at me. I walked over, squatted down. You're saying I pushed you? Everyone saw it. Fine. I raised my hand and slapped her, hard. Harder than last time. Her head snapped to the side. Blood appeared at the corner of her mouth. Dead silence. Ethan reacted and swung at me. I dodged. His palm cut through the air. Are you insane? I'm not. I stood up. I'm just teaching her that framing me has consequences. Lily wailed. Ethan, the baby hurts. Call an ambulance. He roared. The crowd stirred. I turned to leave. Ethan grabbed my wrist. You're not going anywhere tonight. Let go. I'm calling the police. This is assault. I smiled. Go ahead. While you're at it, tell them she faked her pregnancy. Ethan froze. Lily stopped crying. What nonsense are you talking about? Do you want me to bring out the medical reports? I looked at Ethan. You went with her to 3 prenatal checkups. The doctor said the fetus was fine, but the ultrasound reports, her gestational age doesn't match reality. Ethan's face changed. How do you know that? I bought the hospital records. I said softly. She was never pregnant. That belly was fake. Lily screamed. You're slandering me. I pulled copies from my bag, threw them onto the table. Ultrasound reports. 12 weeks pregnant. Dated 3 months ago. But 3 months ago, Ethan was on a business trip in London. They hadn't even seen each other. The guests erupted. Ethan picked up the papers. His hands shook. Lily, is this true? No, she forged them. I pulled out a second document. Hotel check-in records. While Ethan was abroad, Lily spent 3 days in a hotel with a male model. The timing matched perfectly with the so-called pregnancy. The room exploded. Ethan stared at Lily. His expression shifted from shock to fury. You lied to me? Ethan, listen to me, get out. His voice was low, but everyone heard it. Lily's face went white. Ethan, I said get out. She scrambled up and ran out crying. The ballroom fell silent. Everyone was watching. Ethan turned to me. You knew all along? Yes. Why didn't you tell me? If I had, would you have believed me? He had no answer. I straightened my dress. The juice stain was still there, like a scar, but that was fine. Scars fade. Truth doesn't. After that night, Ethan moved back into the master bedroom. He tried to explain. I didn't know she was lying to me, I just wanted a child. Wait. Let's start over. I looked up. How? I'll make her disappear. We'll go back to how things were. There is no going back. He grabbed my hand. We can, as long as you're willing. I pulled my hand free. I'm not. He froze. Then, what would it take for you to forgive me? Divorce. 2 words. Clear. Clean. He took a step back. What did you say? Divorce. I repeated. Property division. Share allocation. I'll have my lawyer draft the agreement. I don't agree. Then we'll separate for 2 years and let the court rule. He stared at me, eyes red. You hate me that much? I don't hate you, I said calmly. I just don't love you anymore. It was like he'd been punched. He staggered. Because of Lily? Because of everything. I opened a drawer and took out a folder. Sign it. The divorce agreement. I only wanted the ancestral house. All other assets, property, stock, company shares, would go to him. I would walk away with nothing. He flipped through the agreement. His hands were shaking badly. You don't want anything? The ancestral house is enough. Why? Because it belonged to my grandmother, I said, looking at him. Everything else smells like you. I don't want it. He was silent for a long time. Then he signed. The pen scratched through the paper, like cutting through 7 years of life. Tomorrow, the Civil Affairs Bureau. Okay. The next day, he didn't come. His assistant called. Mr. Ethan has a fever. Can we reschedule? I said nothing. I went straight to his place, at the gate of the main residence. Security stopped me. Ma'am, Mr. Ethan said he doesn't want to see you. Move. I shoved past him, ran upstairs. In the master bedroom, Ethan was lying on the bed. His face was flushed. He really had a fever, but his eyes were open. When he saw me, he froze. Wei, get up. Divorce. I'm not feeling well today, then endure it. I yanked off the covers. He grabbed my wrist. Burning hot. You're really in that much of a hurry? Yes. Not even willing to wait 1 more day? Wait for what? I smiled. For you to regret it? For you to find another woman? He let go. So in your heart, I'm that worthless? Yes. He closed his eyes. Fine. The Civil Affairs Bureau. The clerk went through the routine questions. Are both parties divorcing voluntarily? Yes. I said. Ethan was silent. Sir? Yes. The stamp came down. The red booklet was exchanged for a green one. When we stepped outside, it was raining. Ethan opened an umbrella and walked over. I'll take you. No need. I stepped into the rain. He followed. Wei. If I change, don't. I turned back to look at him. If you change, then these 7 years of mine really will have been a joke. He froze in place. Rain soaked his shoulders. It soaked my hair too. But it didn't matter. The rain would stop. The wounds would heal. And I was finally free. After the divorce, I moved into the ancestral house. The renovation was still ongoing, but life was quiet. Ethan didn't come again. The news, however, kept coming. Walker CEO's mistress fakes pregnancy. Aristocratic dream shattered. Lily's dark past exposed. From nightclub queen to white moonlight, Ethan played for a fool. Tens of millions transferred down the drain. The comments were merciless. Serves him right, trash man with a con artist. The legal wife handled it beautifully. Heard she only took an old house in the divorce? What a loss. I didn't read them. I focused on restoring the house. My grandmother's vanity was repaired. The mirror was pieced back together. The cracks were still there, but it reflected clearly. Aunt Jean quit her job at the Walker house and came to help me. Madam, I'll follow you. Call me Ms. Shen. Yes. Ma'am. Oh, yes. She cooked well. Slowly. The house filled with the warmth of daily life. One afternoon, the doorbell rang. It was Ethan's secretary. She was carrying a box. Ms. Shen. Mr. Ethan asked me to return these to you. Inside were the things I'd left behind at the marital home. Jewelry, photo albums, journals, and a wedding ring. He said, he's sorry. I took the box. Anything else? The secretary hesitated. There's something I think you should know. Go ahead. Lily's child was actually her ex-boyfriend's. She planned to pin it on Ethan, but the DNA report came out. Mr. Ethan only found out yesterday. I raised an eyebrow, and he was so angry he smashed up his office. She said quietly, he's been drunk at a bar ever since, calling your name. I closed the box. Oh, you're not going to see him? No. But, Secretary Wang. I looked at her. We're divorced. She froze, then nodded. Understood. After she left, I opened the box. The first page of the journal, dated 7 years ago. Today, Ethan said I am his only home. I tore out the page, lit it, burned it. The ashes fell into the ashtray, like burning a dream away. My phone rang. An unfamiliar number. I answered. It was Lily. Her voice was hoarse. Shenwei, are you satisfied now? What do you want? Ethan blacklisted me. All my endorsements are gone. 30 million in breach penalties. Happy now? Yes. Very. She screamed. You bitch. This is all your fault. What did I do to you? I asked calmly. Did I make you fake a pregnancy? Make you scam money? Make you be a mistress? She choked, then burst into tears. I have nothing now. Help me, no. Please. I can tell you Ethan's secret. His startup money back then was from selling my ancestral house. I cut in. I know. She went silent. You knew? I always knew. I smiled. I just chose to play dumb back then. Dead silence on the other end. Then she hung up. When she tried again, the number was disconnected. Later I heard she went back to nightclub hostess work to pay off her debts. Videos were leaked. The internet went wild. The white moonlight became a joke. As for Ethan, he never showed his face again. A month later, Walker Group imploded. Financial fraud was exposed. The stock price crashed. Ethan was investigated by the securities regulator. The headlines were everywhere. Walker Group in crisis. CEO Ethan faces lawsuits. Former tycoon falls from grace. Rumor, Ethan mortgages property to save the market. Aunt Zhang sighed while watching TV. Things were fine. How did it come to this? I said nothing. I kept drawing design plans. Once the restoration was complete, I planned to open a studio. Interior design. My original profession. Before marriage, I was a top-tier designer. After marriage, Ethan said, I'll take care of you. So I stepped back. Now, I was returning to my craft. My first client was an elderly woman. She wanted to renovate an old villa. I presented the proposal. She loved it. Ms. Shen, you're very talented. Thank you. When we signed the contract, she asked, do you know Ethan Walker? My ex-husband. She was surprised. Then, you won't help him? Why should I? You were married. After all, we're divorced. She nodded thoughtfully. That's true. Men, when they're on top, they find you in the way. When they fall, they remember how good you were. But by then, it's too late. I smiled. Yes, too late. The day Ethan came to see me, it was pouring rain. He stood outside the ancestral house. No umbrella. Soaked through. Wei. I opened the door. What is it? Help me. His eyes were bloodshot. The group is going bankrupt. You're the only one who can help me. How would I help? You know Chairman Zhao. He listens to you. If he'll invest, no. He froze. You hate me that much? I don't hate you, I said calmly. I just won't help. Why? Because this is your retribution. He stared at me. then suddenly dropped to his knees. Rain and mud ruined his dress pants. I was wrong. His voice broke. I was really wrong. I shouldn't have betrayed you. Shouldn't have believed Lily. Shouldn't have. Get up. If you forgive me, I'll get up. I turned away. Then stay kneeling. I closed the door. Locked it. Aunt Zhang stood in the living room. Uneasy. MS. Shen. This, leave it. I went upstairs. Looked down from the window. He was still kneeling. Back hunched. Like a dog. And yet my heart was completely still. So this is what it feels like when the love is gone. Even hatred becomes unnecessary. Late at night, the rain stopped. He was still there. I dialed 911. Someone has collapsed outside my house. The ambulance came and took him away. A doctor called. The patient has a high fever, 104 degrees. Are you family? No. I hung up, blocked the number, went back to sleep. That night, for the first time in a long while, I slept without dreams. 3 years later, the U.S. West Coast. My architectural design firm had just entered its 3rd year. A capital merger was completed. The company was renamed Shin Capital, a rising force in the industry, low profile, but formidable. The media occasionally covered us. Mysterious female tycoon acquires Los Angeles landmark. The Chinese-American genius designer behind Shin Capital. The photos only showed a back view. Long hair, slim silhouette. No one knew it was me. These 3 years, I restored the ancestral house, and I restored myself. I studied finance, management, law, piece by piece. I won back everything I had once lost. News about Ethan surfaced from time to time. Walker Group entered bankruptcy liquidation. He was saddled with $80 million in debt. All his properties were mortgaged. He moved to a rented place in the suburbs. A reporter caught photos of him. Hair half gray, face worn. Only 38, but he looked 50. The headline was cruel. From elite CEO to fallen middle-aged man, it took him only 3 years. The comments read, serves him right. He bullied the legal wife back then. This is karma. Heard the ex-wife became a wealthy tycoon? The irony. I closed the page. My assistant knocked. MS. Shen, your flight back to China is booked. Okay. Domestic media may catch wind of it and surround you. It's fine. I packed my suitcase. At the very bottom was Grandma's framed photo. She smiled at me, her gaze gentle. Be brave. Wei. I whispered. Grandma, I did it. The plane took off, pierced through the clouds. The 3-year blank period was over. It was time to enter the next round of the game. My first day back in China, the Walker Group bankruptcy auction. I sat in the last row, sunglasses on. No one recognized me. The auctioneer read the list. Walker Tower. Starting bid $500 million. Only a few bidders raised their paddles. The company was dead. The building had lost its shine. It sold for $300 million. The buyer was a company I had arranged. Next came Ethan's private collections. Luxury watches, paintings, antiques. One after another, unsold. He sat in the front row, back stiff. 3 years unseen. He had aged too much. Wrinkled suit, thinning hair. Finally, the ancestral house. Historic Western villa. Starting bid $80 million. Paddles went up. $90 million. $100 million. $120 million. The bidding was fierce. After restoration, the house had become a social media landmark. Its value had doubled. Suddenly, Ethan turned around, looked straight at me. He recognized me, even through the sunglasses. Shock, then pain. I removed my sunglasses, smiled at him. He shot to his feet. Wei, the gavel came down. $150 million, sold. The buyer was still me. After the auction, he blocked me at the entrance. You bought it? Yes. Why? I like the house. He stared at me, eyes red. You came to watch me suffer? No. I said calmly. I came to take my house back. That house was yours to begin with. He shouted. You took it in the divorce. But later you mortgaged it to the bank. I reminded him. Now I bought it back, legally. He choked. You planned this? It's just business. I turned to leave. He grabbed my arm. Wei, I was wrong. I was really wrong. I pulled free. Ethan, let's both move forward. How? His voice trembled. I have nothing left. I once had nothing too, I said, meeting his eyes. But I stood back up. He froze. I got into the car. The driver asked, Ms. Shen, where to? The ancestral house. In the rearview mirror. He stood there, then slowly crouched down, covered his face. His shoulders shook. But this time, I didn't look back. The ancestral house was completely mine again. I renovated it, kept Grandma's traces, added modern design. The studio occupied the first floor. Floor-to-ceiling windows. Sunlight everywhere. I replanted the plum tree in the garden. The sapling was thin and fragile, but it would grow, just like me. Aunt Zhang came back to help. Ms. Shen, the house feels so bright now. Yes, if your grandmother knew, she'd be so happy. I hope so. I hung Grandma's portrait in the living room. A Republican-era cheapao, elegant smile. Beneath it hung her old wind chimes. When the wind passed, they chimed softly, like her laughter. One afternoon, Ethan came again. This time, he didn't enter. He left a bouquet of white chrysanthemums at the gate. The card read, for Grandma. I'm sorry. I took the flowers, threw them into the trash. Not out of cruelty, but because it wasn't necessary. Some mistakes can't be fixed with a single apology. Some wounds aren't healed by time. I had forgiven him, but I wouldn't forget, and I wouldn't turn back. That night, I sat on the terrace with a drink. The stars were bright, the city lights dazzling. A news alert popped up. Shin Capital CEO Shen Wei appears. Identity of mysterious female tycoon revealed. The image showed my side profile at the auction. The comments exploded. Holy shit, that's Ethan's ex-wife? Revenge power fantasy come to life. This slap is brutal, I love it. I turned off my phone, finished my drink. Bitter, but with a sweet aftertaste. Just like these 3 years. Only after bitterness do you know sweetness. 1 year later, Shin Capital became an industry giant. I appeared on the cover of a financial magazine. Headline, From Abandoned Wife to Queen, Shin Wei's Capital Comeback. The interviewer asked, Many say your success is revenge against your ex-husband. I smiled. My success has nothing to do with him. Do you still hate Ethan Walker? No. Why not? Because hate takes energy, I said, and my energy is for running forward. The reporter fell silent. When the piece was published, public opinion shifted. I was no longer Ethan's ex-wife. I was Shen Wei. My own name, my own identity, my own kingdom. At year's end, the ancestral house opened to the public. I hosted a charity exhibition. Grandma's belongings were displayed. All proceeds donated to a women's entrepreneurship fund. Many people came, including familiar faces from the old circles. Their gazes were respectful. No trace of pity. Ethan didn't come. I heard he'd moved to a small city, running a modest business. Sometimes people spotted him, eating noodles by the roadside. Plain, but peaceful. Maybe he finally understood. Some things, once lost, are gone forever. Some people, once missed, are missed forever. On the final day of the exhibition, it snowed. I stood in the garden. The plum blossoms had bloomed. Small, but fragrant. Aunt Zhang draped a coat over my shoulders. Ms. Shen, go inside, it's cold. Let me stay a little longer. Snow fell on my shoulders, melted into water, like tears. But this time, they were tears of release. Grandma's wind chimes rang again. Clink, clink, as if saying, Wei Wei, you've grown up. I smiled. Yes, I have. No longer anyone's wife. No longer anyone's shadow. I am just Shen Wei, a woman who fell and got back up. A woman who lost everything and won herself back. The snow fell heavier, covering the past, covering the scars. But the plum blossoms kept blooming, and I was still here, and I would keep shining.